Hello, Taurus. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Valima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I already shuffled. We're going to do relationship first, single second. Let's see what we got. Exactly where does this hit? Is this more on that side? There we go. We got a face down card, but let's see how this goes. All right. I'm pulled to this card, but I don't feel like we're at it yet. What I feel we're starting with is very interesting for Taurus. I'm getting a lot of fire energy, which, not that Taurus is not going to use fire energy from time to time, I don't want to say that, but fire energy is usually quick, moving fast, quick changes, moving with emotions, just kind of rolling with it, left and right, dodging here and there sometimes. Taurus is usually straight and steady, kind of like the tortoise going on there, just kind of going at it, persistent, winning the race because they stick to their own pace. Here we go with the rhyming. That's great. But ironically, I see the Ace of Swords with the Ace of Wands with the King of Wands, where you're starting, and I'm noticing the King of Wands is your challenge card. You seem to be pushing forward and starting something off with a bang, and I feel like it's like you're hitting the ground running. I got to be honest with you. And when I'm seeing this, I'm feeling like the challenge here with the King of Swords, nope, the King of Wands. See, this energy is really just kind of like, it feels out of place, I gotta be honest. But I feel like you are doing it. You're kicking forward, you're going, you're starting it off at a run. You're very passionate about this. You feel like this is the right thing to do. Even if it's uncomfortable for you, you feel like it's the right thing to do and you're kicking it forward. The challenge card for you with the King of Wands is to actually make it happen. And I'm getting you're doing this. You're doing it. It feels like you are. This is the challenge card here. The King of Wands is the challenge card. And I feel like you continuing this pace, starting off at a run and continuing at a run, I feel like that might be a bit much. I just feel like this might be contrary to your normal current, your normal flow of energy. And I'm getting, it feels like the way that this is received on the other side, your partner just seems to be letting you do what you want to do and just kind of holding back or just kind of slouching over to the side and just kind of like letting you do what you want to do. And I'm getting here that they just seem to be watching and they don't really feel connected to it. I'm getting this imagination card and I feel like they're watching you and they're not feeling like this is going to work out. I'm trying to feel like what they actually want to say with the imagination, but I'm noticing the lack. You might be noticing the lack of color here. There's a lot of blues here. There's a lot of blues, a bit of gray maybe a tinge of green. But the thing is, none of these feel like there's not a lot of life here is what I'm noticing. And I feel like the Seven of Swords with the imagination, the way that it's the image that's really pulling at me on the imagination card. I just feel like they're not really seeing like this has a lot of possibilities. They're thinking this is destined to not work out. They don't seem very confident in it. That's all I can seem to get from this. Then the Seven of Swords is like they're not negating you out, but they're just kind of stepping to the side and they just don't want to really get involved with it because they don't think it's going to sustain or they don't think it's going to work out. Now, they're pulling. This is hitting. Okay. I was like trying to find a way for that to be wrong, but I feel like there's other cards on your side that's kind of validating what's happening here because I feel like you're seeing your partner just kind of leave you on your own to handle this, to go about this on your own. They're not really supporting you, but they're not negating you out, but they're not supporting you either. And I feel like the Page of Swords is saying you're very well aware of what's going on, and you seem to be watching and just kind of like seeing how your partner is reacting to what you're doing. because they seem to be off on their own in their own thoughts. This is going to be one of those readings. That's the Seven of Cups. That's possibilities, sometimes a dreamer card. And I feel like in this situation, you're seeing them just kind of off in their own thoughts. They're not really supporting you. They're not negating you out, but they're not really supporting you either. And I feel like that's why you're getting this card for where you're standing. Once you realize that, you have the Three of Swords. You got the Heartbreak card. You're not happy that they're not really supporting you. You're thinking they should be helping you make this happen. And again, they're not supporting you. Even though they're not negating you out, they're not supporting you. You really could use some support here. That's the Heartbreak card for you. You expect that support from them, and you're not really getting it. The knowledge here is telling me, like, you're really kind of, like, watching how they're reacting to something you want to do, and you're kind of soaking this in, like, okay, so this is what happens when I go forward with something, and you just don't want to really have any part in it. You just don't really seem to support me. I understand that you're not telling me no, but you're not really helping me move forward either. Now, there is something that makes this work better for your partner, but I'm noticing first they have to go through their Hermit card, which is in their spiritual sense. I feel like they really got to think about what's going on here, and I feel like that's the thing on their side that seems to be the key component. They're thinking about what's actually happening. They're aware of what you're doing. They're just waiting to see if it's really going to withstand the test of time. They're waiting to see if you're really going to be able to keep this up before they get involved in it. Because they feel like they're not really believing that this is going to work. They feel like the way you're going about this, you're going to burn yourself out, and they don't really want to start investing in something that they think you're just going to drop because of the way you're starting it. Like, you're starting off at a run, and they just don't think that's normal for you. They think you're going to end up just burning yourself out and just having to ditch the plans, abort the mission, if you will. So they got their Hermit card here. They're just waiting to see what is actually going to happen. If it seems like it sustains itself, then they'll get involved and help you. But if you burn yourself out, they're just kind of like gonna sidestep it and let it be and just move on from it like it never happened. Now, I'm getting the Two of Wands here, though. Even though you're not seeing that support, I'm getting your partner is paying attention, and they're just waiting to see what they should do next. If you're really going to stick with this, they are going to get involved. But again, if you're not, they're just going to walk away like nothing happened. They're just waiting to really understand, is this really going to work? Because they really don't feel like the way you're going about it, they really think you're going to burn yourself out. And I'm getting that over and over again. That seems to be the whole reason for how they're reacting. I feel like the way you're coming at it, though, is that if you got the support you needed from them, this could succeed. And you're just kind of really disappointed that they're not supporting you. Excuse me. And that's where the heart energy starts kicking in. I'm noticing that's hiccups for me or whatever is going on with my body. My eyes are actually starting to burn a little bit, so that's fun. You don't like what you're seeing. That's the short end. Let's just move on from that energy. And hiccups. Woo! That's great. I already knew it was heart energy. We could stop that now. What makes this better? What does make this better? See, you are going to stick with this. This may not be the normal way you go about things. This is how you chose to do this thing, and I feel like you're determined to make this work out. That's the thing about Taurus. When Taurus, the energy I know, and it may be very stereotypical, when Taurus makes up its mind and moves forward, even though in this case it feels like it's out of the norm, the way you're going about it, you made up your mind you're going to do it, you're going to do it. It may be really heavy for you to do it, maybe not easy for you to get into this mode, but you said you were going to do it, you made your mind up, you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Temperance. This is what's making things better for you. You're withstanding that the test of time, you're keeping with it. And as you are, you got this card face down. Sooner or later, you're going to come forward to your partner and you're going to explain how you feel, how you could really use their help in this situation, and you're disappointed that they didn't support you. You're going to tell them this. I feel like that's going to happen. You may not be planning it, but somehow or other the moment's going to come forward, and you're going to spill the beans about how you feel about this whole situation and how they're treating you. They're not treating you bad, but they're not treating you as good as you need them to. You're very disappointed that you're not getting the support you feel you deserve. And I feel like you might even be reiterating to them like how you support them at times, and you don't think this is fair. No matter if their reasons are valid or not, and I feel like that's that hard energy again. Their reasons may be completely valid, but the way you're feeling is like you're still not getting the support you feel like you should be getting. You feel like you deserve this support, and you feel like they should be giving it. Now that's what, the authenticity, you telling them this, that seems to be changing things in your favor, because what I'm getting, what helps your your partner, and I feel like this Ace of Swords is activated by you coming forward about how you feel. They come forward to you with why they've been doing what they've been doing, how they've been feeling. They're just spilling the beans right back. They're telling you why. Why they've been doing this, why they've been holding back, why they haven't been really commenting, if that's the case. And the energy, see, this is where you start getting the support you need, because I feel like they explained to you that they've just been waiting to make sure this was going to work out. And at this point, I almost feel like it's been working out long enough to where they're admitting, like, all right, I've been holding off a little too long, and I apologize for that, but I'm ready to help you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. This is why I was doing that. I understand you don't agree with that, but this is the real reason why. I'm seeing you're dedicated to it. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to help you get this going. I'm ready to support you in this. I'm ready to help you get this going or keep this going and help you attain the success that you're headed for. That Ace of Swords is definitely activated by you when you come forward with that authenticity about how you feel and what you've been seeing. When you tell them about the heartbreak you're feeling based on what you've learned from the situation and what you see them, how you see them reacting to something you're trying to make happen. And I'm just seeing, I don't want to go down like a lot of different roads, but I feel like the gist of this came out. And I feel like this is either hitting or it's not with you. I don't feel like there's a two-way about it. I have to be honest with you. So I feel like it's best if I leave it for where it is and just let it be where it is. Because I feel like the whole message of this is the sooner you tell your partner how you feel, the sooner this gets more in line to what you actually want. Good? Good. All right. Let's do Taurus singles and see what we got with that. Tauran singles. Messages for Tauran singles. What do we have for Tauran singles? Messages for Tauran singles. Taurus singles. Single Taurans. Messages for single Taurans. Messages for single Taurans. Messages for single Taurans. All right. All right. Now let's do these cards. Messages for single Taurans. Messages for single Taurans. All right, let's see where this is going. This is interesting, and it's very striking to me how there's a similarity with Capricorn, I want to say, Capricorn single. And I just want to be sure, because this feels like this is like riding on the coattails of something else that ended. I feel like it's like the same thing we went through with Capricorn. This is saying that a relationship ended, a relationship that was very important to you. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. You seem to be still healing from it because it left a mark on your heart. I feel like I've already said this. I feel like this is exactly what happened to Capricorn. So it's kind of eerie to me how this is coming through because it feels the same way. You felt defeated in this relationship. You felt defeated because you couldn't do anything to save it. And for some of you, you had to end it, and the fact that you had to end it, you're still upset about why you had to end it. You're resolving feelings from a past relationship that was very significant. For some of you, the only thing different from Capricorn that I'm feeling, it may not be the last relationship. It may be one from even before that you're still processing the hurt from. Because it left a very deep mark on your heart, a very deep scar is what I'm feeling. And you're still getting over it is what I'm getting. Now, that may be the only similarity from this reading that can match the Capricorn one. I feel like the rest of this is going to go your own direction, but it does seem extremely similar to the Capricorn single reading, which I just did before this one. So that's why that's so fresh in my mind. You're coming in and I feel like you're ready to give somebody else a try. You got the Strength card, but you also have the Knight of Wands. Ironically, I feel that's you. When Earth goes the line of fire, it just, to me, that's very striking because those are energies that don't usually flow very easily. That's kind of like lava. It's very destructive. There's not really, what can you do with that? What can you create from lava? I don't know much. You can get lava stone from it after it's cooled, but while it's in motion, it's pretty much just destructive. That's why I was seeing this going on here. You got the Strength, you got the Knight of Wands going in here. You're ready to find somebody. You're ready to try. You're ready to put it out there. I do want to say, though, at the bottom here, you have the Four of Swords. This isn't coming out of thin air. You've been thinking about this. You've been thinking and thinking and thinking about this long enough, and you've decided it's time to move forward, and you're moving forward. You're getting out there. You're trying to find someone. So I might have used that lava reference out of... No, they're saying that's what they wanted to say. They're saying be careful. Don't move forward so quickly that you just kind of get something started with somebody just because you've decided you want to get something started with somebody. Don't just barrel forward because you've decided it's time to barrel forward. Find what you want. Get out there and actively look, but be careful not to just grab the first thing that's conducive or acceptable. Are we good? Because I feel like you're very determined to move forward and find another healthy relationship. You're determined to move through this pain from the past. But I'm getting your momentum may be too strong. And they're saying just because you find somebody who fits your needs, don't just keep pushing forward with something just because you decided you want a relationship. Be careful to slow down and just kind of take it more at your natural pace. Don't force yourself to go forward, because I feel like you're forcing yourself. And one of the reasons might be because the Four of Swords is telling me you've been going slow and contemplating and thinking, and you just seem to be coming up with dead ends over and over and over again. And you're like, you know what? If I really want this to happen, I'm going to have to push something through. I'm going to have to force myself to get to know someone. And I feel like that's the thing here. If this is hitting with you, I feel like that's the big piece that might really click in. I keep coming up with dead ends. I keep, not getting things to go. I'm not clicking with people. So the next one I find that I seem to have a little bit of a spark with, I'm going to force myself to stick with that and force myself to get to know this person so I can really give this a shot. I don't feel like that's a good idea. But I feel like if that's clicking with you, kind of I've been coming up with dead end, I'm going to force myself to get to know somebody, because that's the only way this is going to work out, is if I force myself to get to know somebody. If you're in that boat, I feel like you might be going a direction that's really not for you. But let's keep going. Because I'm feeling like what's coming next, see, you got this Three of Pentacles here. You're ready to do the work. I feel like you're looking at the next one that seems to be clicking, that they're showing interest back. You're going to work to get to know them, and you're going to work to see if you can create something from that. What I'm getting is happening next is you got the Romance card with the Eight of Swords. You're holding yourself to this, but I feel like the way you're looking at it is if I want a relationship, I really got to force this forward. And the romance is there, the interest is there, but I feel like the pace at what you're going, what you're doing, forcing yourself to get to know this person, forcing yourself to keep going with this. Granted, this reading won't hit with everybody, but the people this is hitting for, I'm feeling like this is not really working for you. I'm getting this is really uncomfortable, and you just seem to be forcing yourself to stick with it. Is that right? That's what they want to say. because I'm really getting this in disbelief. Like, I feel like somebody really trudging themselves through this and really forcing themselves to do this because they're like, I don't want to be single anymore. Dead end after dead end after dead end I'm sick of. So the next person that shows me interest, I'm going to give myself the chance to really get to know them. I'm going to force myself to get to know this person just to make sure, I'm not walking away from something too soon. Because I feel like you're scrutinizing yourself. I feel like you're being hard on yourself, to be honest. The reading isn't going to hit for everybody. For those who it's hitting for, I feel like you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't feel like this is going to be left or right. I feel like you're going to... Well, I feel like this is either going to be it's going to be on or it's going to be off. I don't feel like you're going to be in the middle ground on this. If you're questioning, like, I don't know if this is for me, it's probably not for you. Let's just be fair. In the environment, you got the Hierophant with the fertility. I'm getting this person coming towards you definitely has honest interest. They seem to be very, very well aware of how you're feeling, though. They don't seem to think you're completely into them. But I'm getting, they're hoping that you will, over time, that you will be into them. They're very into you. They got fertility here. Yeah, I feel like they know. They seem to be aware that the passion is just not there. It's not coming through. It seems to be more rote routine than passion. How's that? So they seem to be aware. Now, the thing is, I'm getting you're trying to force this romance to happen. And it's not like you're not attracted to this person, but the interest, like you're not falling for this person. There may be an attraction, but I feel like it's just a physical attraction. You're not falling for this person. You would like to fall for this person, but it's just not happening. That's what I'm getting. You like this person, but you're not falling in love with this person. And I'm getting sooner or later, you're going to end up at this moment. The King of Pentacles with a friendship. This is going to end up a friendship. I'm getting this is not going to turn into a romance. I feel like you're forcing yourself to go against what you really feel, but you can only go so long before the King of Pentacles finally stands up and says, this is not what I want. This is not working for me. And you're going to tell this person, like, I'm sorry. I'd like to be friends with you, but I just don't feel a romance happening here. And I feel like they're going to acknowledge it. Like, yeah, I know. I feel like they're going to acknowledge that they've been seeing it the whole time. They were hoping something was going to happen here where you were going to click in and all of a sudden it was just going to click, but they're realizing that you're not really. They know the passion is lacking, and they seem to be agreeing, like, this is better as a friendship. This is an interesting... I don't know, I'm curious. I guess we'll see with the comments on the video, because usually somebody will tell me. Typically, especially in these ones where I'm just like, this seems really kind of specific, usually somebody will tell me, like, where it hit and where it didn't. So I thank you very much the people who tell me, like, when these hit for them, especially these ones that feel very out of place to me. Thank you very much. And again, this is a general read. If it's not hitting for you, not every month maybe the readings won't hit for you. I know there's some people they do seem to hit every month. It's just not always going to be that sense. So I guess we'll find out in the comments, and I thank you anyway for watching either way. Of course, definitely leave me a comment or something. Let me know, because I'm curious about this, if this makes sense to you, exactly what's happening. Because I feel like this is definitely hitting for a few specific people. Either way, I'm going to wrap this up here, because I feel like we got to the end of it. So thank you for watching. If you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.